Hi, everyone. Hopefully, you guys are ready for an awesome lunchtime show. I'm going to be getting ready to jump into some game day bingo with you guys. As you guys are getting enrolled in these next 40 seconds, we're about to get into this first round of game day bingo. That's right, I'm going to be here live with you guys for the next hour, playing through around 12 different games of game day bingo, where we're trying to give out these awesome jackpots. I also want to highlight all the different streaming platforms that we're coming to you live on, whether that be your Pilot TVs live in those locations, or it's those Player Connect apps, pilotgames.com/Pilot TV, YouTube Live, or even on Twitch. Both on YouTube and on Twitch, our channel name is MegaSota for you guys to go check us out on. So go give us a like and follow and watch all of our streams directly there. I definitely As we are officially in this first round of Game Day Bingo, I want to highlight some of the great jackpot winners who were able to take home some awesome prizes just yesterday while playing Pilot Games. We were able to give out three different jackpots yesterday, meaning 12 or 20 different jackpots were able to go out over the last 7 days and 29 different jackpots for the entirety of our season 15 so far. We are still bright and early in this season 15, and I can't wait to see how many jackpots we're able to give out to you lucky players. Just those jackpots yesterday that I was talking about were three different jackpots I need to highlight, as starting it off was Big Nate 85 as they played over at Miniger Sports Hub and took home $6,095. Nicely done to Big Nate. We also had Son Daniel playing over at the Cherry Pit, who took home $2,500 on that awesome Pilot Payday game. We had one more jackpot going out as Bandit Jack was playing over at the Barrel House Bar and Cafe, taking home $3,494 just on Wednesday. Nicely done. Those were all three of our jackpot winners from Wednesday. Awesome to see you lucky players taking home some great cash. We definitely want to have all you guys out here today taking home these awesome prizes. As you can see, we have a lot of cash on the line, like $39.11 on that awesome minor jackpot. We have $1,531 on that major jackpot, and that $10,075 jackpot on that mega. We are super excited to see that finally going up in monetary amount. We were able to give out that awesome jackpot just a couple days ago, I think on Monday during that awesome lunchtime show. Ian and I were able to give out that $10,000 to a player who took it home, and I think 41 balls or less. It was crazy and awesome to see happen. Hopefully, there it is. We have a winner here as Kevin R is going to take away that awesome prize. Nicely done, as going to take home $7.50 on that Musco prize. Nicely done to Kevin R over at Bucky's Bar. As we are getting enrolled in the second round, we do have that minor jackpot clicking up to 54 balls or less now, so that should be a little bit more doable trying to get it into one of your lucky pockets. But as we get enrolled in what will be our second round of Game Day Bingo, I want to highlight our great Facebook page, as it is our main social media that you guys definitely need to go and interact with. As you guys go over to our Facebook page, just search up Pilot Games and give that one a like and follow. You'll be able to keep up with all of our weekly bingo schedules, our event details, seeing all the big reminders, sending in those amazing player pictures, and even going directly to the top of that Facebook page and going and using the link tree. If you go and click on that website link, it's got direct links to all of our other social media for you guys to go and interact with, whether that be our Instagram or our Twitter. We also have all of the direct links to our streaming platforms, as well as pgl.world, that you guys definitely need to go and use, and all the locations around Minnesota that you guys can go and check out Pilot Games at if you're curious there as well. Our Facebook page really is the hub of all of our information, and it's a great resource to go and utilize. Definitely go and check out Pilot Games and on Facebook and stay up to date with everything happening. But if you guys want to stay up to date with what's happening with our daily bingo schedule, I'm going to run through the entirety of that schedule for you guys right now. We get each and every day started off with game day bingo that runs from 12 to 1 as we go after these three great jackpots and that awesome Musco prize that's always on the line as well. As you guys can see, we are going to be going after a $54 minor and growing. That's sitting at that 54 ball or less count. We also have that major prize sitting at $1,543 that can be taken home in 49 balls or less. Not to mention that mega jackpot sitting at $10,088 and growing, as that can be taken home in 46 balls or less. Definitely some really exciting stuff here. So make sure you guys get enrolled in the next 45 seconds. But as you guys get enrolled in the next 45 seconds, I'm going to be talking about all the great games that come after our game day bingo that you guys will have to play after I go off air at 1 p.m. At 1 p.m., you guys will jump into your first opportunity for Lucky 4 Bingo for the day. It's got over $110,000 on the line, and you'll definitely want to be going out for that, as I think that is the largest jackpot on the line today. After that Lucky 4 Bingo, you'll jump into some more Game Day Bingo that'll be ran from 1 all the way till 4 unhosted. Then at 4 p.m., you get your second opportunity for Lucky 4 Bingo for the day with that over $110,000 jackpot. Before you jump into some more game day bingo that's going to be ran during that happy hour time, 4 to 6. That's when I'm going to be back live with you guys for 2 hours trying to give out some great jackpots and PGL points. And as we do that later on today at 6 p.m., I'll finish off and you'll jump into a little pilot payday action. That's right. It's a Thursday, so we got $2,500 on the line in pilot payday for you guys right at 6 p.m. If you guys didn't know, it replaces game day or the Lucky 4 bingo right at 6 p.m. on Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. Other than that, you get your third and final opportunity for Lucky 4 bingo, but you guys definitely need to wait 2 more days before that opportunity presents itself again. After that round of game day bingo from 4 to 6, and that last round of a pilot payday right at 6 p.m., you guys will jump into some more game day bingo that's ran from 6 all the way till 10 p.m. tonight. That's right, as you guys do that, it'll be uninterrupted and unhosted, as we just finished off both specialty nights for the week. That's right, twice a week we do interrupt that 6 to 10 time, as you guys can check out MegaSota Game Night each and every Tuesday at 6:40. And you guys can check out Wild Wednesday each and every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Ian and I hosted one just last night, and we have Tony and Nikki hosting the Tuesday night shows. So make sure you guys are coming out for both and trying to earn as many PGL points as you can for season 15. But make sure you need to sign up at pgl.world in order to earn those points. You know, as we move on through this game, we have players 5 balls away, and now 4 as we close in on one of these great prizes. We are still in line to take home a minor jackpot, but it will need to be perfect. We'll have to see if any of these players are able to take it away. If not, we do have that $13.80 must go prize on the line, just waiting to go out as well. As we close in on these final players, we do want to talk about some of our great national days today, as we have a lot to talk about with you guys. I will wait just 1 sec as we are closing in on giving out this jackpot, as we see our lucky Viking right next to us, trying to give out some luck to that lucky player out there. It's looking like Darren is the one ball away. Now, a bunch of you guys getting in line to try and take home this prize. We are giving out that Musco jackpot, $13.80, going out to Devin playing over at the Schiffler's Liquor. Nicely done to all of our players in this great round number 2. This is going to be our third round of game day bingo that we're about to get enrolled in, and you guys definitely want to get enrolled, as we have all 3 jackpots just moving and grooving into this next game. That minor jackpot is officially up to 56 balls or less, so that is really exciting as well. So definitely get enrolled in this next game. You'll want to be a part of all of this awesome game day bingo action. I did allude to some great national days that I'm going to talk about with you guys, as on first on the list is National Arkansas Day. On January 11th, National Arkansas Day recognizes the natural state that and the 25th state to join the union. Really, really fun stuff. There's always a ongoing joke that Arkansas should really be Arkansas, as that is how it's spelled. And is really frustrating that there is Kansas, Kansas City, but you pronounce this one Arkansas. If you guys didn't know, Arkansas, it's actually illegal to mispronounce Arkansas in Arkansas. I feel like they would get a little touchy about that, as they should be a little prideful of the state and the correct pronunciation. But that just goes to prove that there's people like me who get a little confused as well. If you guys didn't know, I'm going to talk about some quirky facts about Arkansas that actually sound made up, but actually are 100% accurate. There's a castle that's completely covered in rocks and crystals with trees growing actually on the inside of the building. That's really cool. And it seems like the Ozarks' strangest dwelling, called the Quigley Castle, is a one of a kind home that is out of this world. It was built in 1943 in the dream home of Elise Quigley in Eureka Springs, the quirkiest town in Arkansas. There is no doubt that it is right where it belongs. It's a beautiful little home, actually, and you kind of just get the faint outline of trees through the windows into the home. And so that's super cool. It's kind of like English cottage meets Hobbit. And so it's super fun. And I don't think I would necessarily love being that intertwined with nature, but it's a very cute home and it seems to be in the perfect little quirky dwelling. Next up, if you guys didn't know, Little Rock actually got its name from an actual rock called the La Petite Roche, which means the small rock. That is super fun. There is actually a plaque on it now, and it's a little memorialized spot that you guys can go and check out if you're ever in the area. Jean Baptiste Bernard de la Harpe in 1722 was the one who used rocks to navigate waters and just for general navigation purposes. The rock outcropping was situated along the south bank of the Arkansas River, but most of it was actually destroyed to build a bridge. Um, which is still standing right next to the rock to this day. The good news is that part of the Little Rock now sits next to that old railroad bridge in the River Market District for all to see. You guys can stop by, get a picture of it, and even read the plaque on there to get a little bit more information about that pretty well known Arkansas monument. If you guys didn't know, the delicious cheese dip was created in Arkansas. Yes, fondue, as I'm assuming is what they're talking about, as it's just true that in 1935, the original owner of a small restaurant in Little Rock introduced a heated cheese dip. And so it mixed fondue and queso, and it was the first Arkansas and that area of the US had first seen. Super fun stuff. It's very interesting to see how certain foods were all over the world, but then they have these originations that people will really stay or say that they started there, but somehow have come out globally and enjoyed all over the place. It's awesome to see, and I think everyone could get behind a little bit of cheese dip. If you guys didn't know, there's actually a World Cheese Dip Championship in Arkansas, which is super fun. Um, If they're going to claim that cheese dip, they might as well celebrate it. Each year, that World Cheese Dip Championship is held in Little Rock and it attracts thousands of visitors. That's right, it happens each year in October. So if you want to be a part of this quirky food festival, mark the calendars. As we close in on the end of this round number three, it's looking like Nan is 2 balls away. Now we've got players like TJH as well as Monty. Now players are 1 ball away. We'll have to see if they're able to take away this prize. It's looking like it will be that $14.20 Musco prize going out, but that's all right. We still have all those great jackpots growing into round number four, but it's looking like Jimmy P over at the Blacksmith Lounge in Hugo is taking home $14.20 on this great round of game day bingo. Make sure you guys continue to still get enrolled as all of those great jackpots, like I just said, will be going into game number four. I was talking a little bit about Arkansas as it is a very interesting place. And if you guys didn't know, this one is one that Ian will actually really like, as the largest ostrich farm in America is actually located in Hot Springs, Arkansas. That is just some awesome stuff. If you guys want to know a little bit more about Arkansas, today is the day to just brush up on your knowledge on the awesome state, as it is National Arkansas Day. Next up, we have National Step in a Puddle and Splash Your Friends Day. And on National Step in a Puddle and Splash Your Friends Day, particular criteria must be present to celebrate, of course. And on today, unless the ideal conditions prevail, some areas of the country may have to create them to celebrate it. So, can we really? Well, yes, the name of the day says you can. Life is short, let's have some fun, but good luck because there may be some redemption. That is some really funny stuff. Definitely a fun one. I definitely had a lot of fun with my cousins with stuff like this, whether it be splashing in a rain puddle or throwing mud at each other while we were outside. My cousins were the ones I would definitely get dirty with while playing and have just the absolute most best time with. We'd almost always end up sick, just the three girls of and we would always end up sick together because we were always out in the cold. We were wrestling around in mud. We were playing in the rain without shoes on, and it always had those repercussions. But this is definitely a fun one to remind yourself just to embrace those small moments and have fun and not take life too seriously, as you guys can go and splash in the rain and have some fun with friends. Now, I know in the Midwest we might be experiencing a little bit colder temperatures, so it might be freezing rain. So maybe go out and have a snowball fight or have fun with your friends and embrace the cold weather, trying to make the best of it, as I hope you guys are experiencing some fun snow flurries. As this week here in Michigan, we've definitely had some snow heading our way. But it's definitely a fun one just to have some fun with your friends on today. Happy National Step in a Puddle and Splash Your Friends Day. We do have some more national days to talk about, as we have a very important one that I'll touch on pretty briefly, but is definitely one to mention, as you guys have just about 5 seconds to get enrolled in this game number 4. I need to talk about National Human Trafficking Awareness Day. National Human Trafficking Awareness Day on January 11th brings attention to a crime that leaves a lasting toll on human life, families, and communities around the world. This has been such a huge prevalent issue all around the world for the past numerous years, and we are seeing numerous exposés and things happening to come to light to have these children and people all around the world be safe and brought back home. So this is definitely a super important one that is getting more light shed on it each and every day, and we are striving each day to make sure that this comes to a stop. Happy National Human Trafficking Awareness Day. We have one final national day to talk about, as it is a little bit more lighthearted, but it is bringing a lot of controversy to a lot of people, as it is National Milk Day. National Milk Day on January 11th commemorates the day many think the first milk deliverers in glass bottles began in the United States. Alexander Campbell of the New York Dairy Company professes to the New York State Senate that his company was the first to make these deliveries in 1878. Yeah, that's definitely a huge claim to say you were the first milkman ever. Awesome stuff to Alexander Campbell. But milk has been delivered forever, and it's super interesting to think that it started today in 1878. But no matter whether you like this regular 2% straight from a cow, or if you're now into the alternatives that we see today, like the almond, the oat, or anything, you have it, today is the day to celebrate it. There's definitely a lot of discrepancy against milk nowadays. I feel like it's been almost villainized for it just being a simple food item, but it's super funny to see how the conversations steer as soon as someone brings up milk. And it really depends on even how people pronounce the word milk that can really rub people the wrong way. It's really the simplest things with this simple dairy creation that could bring a lot of different conversations to light. So happy National Milk Day. Maybe strike a conversation and ask yourself, you got milk? As we are closing in on the final of this game, number 4, it's looking like we got players one ball away. We'll have to see if they're able to take it home. $22 on that Musco prize, just itching to go out into one of your awaiting pockets. There it is, TJH as well as Boogie. They're both splitting up $22. Nicely done in this great round number 4 of Game Day Bingo. I'm going to be taking a very quick break, but don't you worry, guys. I'll be right back to give out some more cash, so continue playing, and I will see you soon. Hey everybody, hopefully you guys had a great 2 rounds of game day bingo that I was not on air for. I do have those winners that we definitely need to highlight as you guys are getting enrolled in this next round. I definitely want to highlight those great winners as what in game number 6 it ended up being Shell, who was playing over at Casper's Cherokee Sirloin. They got to take home $132. Nicely done, finally taking home that minor jackpot. We were itching to give that one out. It is back up at 54 balls or less in this great game. So make sure you guys continue to get enrolled. Now, just this past round in game number 7, we ended up having Woodtick taking home that double Musco prize of $32. Nicely done to Woodtick, who is playing over at Diamond Gyms. As we are getting enrolled in what will be a game number 8, I definitely want to highlight some of those great games that we have here, as we've teamed up with a lot of our Minnesota sports teams for some great e-tabs that you guys can choose to play at any time wherever you play Pilot games. We've teamed up with the Minnesota Twins to play the great E-Tab game Twins Win, so you guys can go and check that one out and pick a lucky batter in the Home Run Derby bonus round and take home some Grand Slam prizes along the way. It's a lot of fun and a great E-Tab game for you guys to go and show your support. But as you guys are in this game number 8, I definitely want to highlight some of those great players who played through game day bingo all through last season, as all throughout season 14 we had some great players solidifying their spots, and I have a top 10 solidified standings to talk about with you guys. 10th place ended up being Brizo playing at the Pub 500. Then in ninth place, it was Nan playing at Corky's Bar South Haven, who ended up staying in that ninth place spot. Eighth place ended up being Towley playing at Carboni's Pizza CR Billiards with 71,000 points. Then with 78,000 points in a fifth place three-way tie, it ended up being Super D at the Shore 96, Why Not Me at Beatles Bar and Grill, and Mad Dog at Egan's Arms Public House. They all tied in that three-way spot in fifth place, which was crazy to see for last season. Then ahead of them in fourth place, we ended up having Mike at the Sherwood Lounge, who finished with 100,000 points. Then with 103,000 points in third place, we had Rock Rider at the Incline Station Bowling Center. Now, in front of them, we had Mikey Mike at the Old Piper in Blaine, who finished off the season with 105,000 points. Now, with 243,000 points on the season, our number one player ended up being Call Me Jen over at JR Mac. Nicely done. For the locations, we had in 10th place Eagles Mankato. They finished the season with 140,000 points. 147,000 points for ninth place, Shady's Railside. While in 8th, we had the Sherwood Lounge, who finished off with 155,000. 166,000 points for 7th place, Leo's Bar Newmarket. While in 6th, we had the Boulevard Tavern with 182,000. 186,000 points for fifth place, the Country Lounge, while in fourth, Old Piper and Blaine finished with 196,000. 285,000 for third place, JR Mack, 328,000 for second place, VFW Spring Lake Park, and 366,000 for first place, Carboni's Pizza CR Billiards. We do have Kranakaka over at the Beer Stoop Inver Grove Heights, taking home that awesome Musco prize, $9.60 going out to you in this great game number 8. We're going to be getting enrolled in a game number 9 right now, I think. It might be a game number 8 now, so make sure you guys continue to get enrolled. We definitely have a lot of fun still in store and some great cash prizes on the line. Make sure you guys get enrolled in this next round, but if you guys don't plan on getting enrolled in this live bingo, don't worry, we have some great eTab games that you guys can actually choose to play at any time. That's right, our eTab games are available for you guys to go and check out on those iPads wherever you play Pilot games, no matter the time of day. You guys can go and check out one of the latest eTab games that we've released called Sherlock Holmes. You can don on your detective cap and go searching for huge jackpots. There's not one, not two, but three different bonus rounds for you guys to go and check out. And in one of those bonus rounds called the Where's Watson Skill Challenge bonus, there's actual standings that you guys can compete against each other statewide to try and solidify your spots in those own games. They do not affect your actual outcome in that eTab game, but it's still a lot of fun and there is a lot of great cash on the line. There are over 70 different themes though, and there are a wide variety of them for you guys to go and choose. Whether you like Diesel Freaks that has racing monsters, you like Underdog that has some superheroes, or even Nugget Chasers, which you go in search of some gold mining treasure. There is a lot of fun and a lot of great cash opportunities in each and every one of these games. As you guys have just under a minute to get enrolled in this next round, I want to talk about some things that happened on today in music history. As on today in 1985, Queen, Iron Maiden, and Whitesnake play on day one of the Rock in Rio Festival. That sounds absolutely incredible. I have never heard of this Rock in Rio Festival, but I would very much like to go see it and learn a little bit more about it and see who else was there this day. Super fun stuff. We'll have to take a peek. The Rock in Rio Festival in 1985 was a huge, huge one. It happens in Rio de Janeiro, and they even went on to have different festivals under the same name in Lisbon, Madrid, and well as Las Vegas. Super, super fun stuff. They even had Queen, George Benson, Rod Stewart, AC/DC, and even more were headliners there as well for this Rock in Rio festival. I personally love Queen probably the most out of any one of these artists. I love AC/DC as well. I have a very sentimental place in my heart for AC/DC, which is funny to say, but they were my first concert ever at the ripe old age of, I think, 8 years old. So I will always love AC/DC, but Queen for sure definitely takes the cake for me as they just have music that have actually moved me to tears and awesome stuff that they were able to go and perform live in 1985. I wish I could have been around to see them live. I get chills when I think of Live Aid and not being able to be there, but awesome, awesome stuff. Queen, Iron Maiden, and Whitesnake playing in Rock in Rio. Also on today in 1992, Nirvana's Nevermind album hits number 1 in America, upseating Michael Jackson's Dangerous. That's right. That is a great album. I'm a big fan of Nirvana's Nevermind. And I'm going to take a peek and take a little bit more of a look at this album as it's the one with the very iconic cover on it. This is probably one of their biggest albums, if not the biggest album that they've ever released. It's got Smells Like Teen Spirit, Lithium, Drain You, Terrestrial Pissings, we have Breed, we have Polly, we have Lounge Act, Come As You Are. We've got so many of these iconic songs that were put onto this album. I will never get over Come As You Are. The first time I heard it, I absolutely fell in love with Nirvana and it's just grown from there. Awesome stuff. Just a lot of rock on today. So maybe get your rock on and listen to some Nirvana, Queen, maybe even some Iron Maiden on today and celebrate one of these great national days. If you guys are not planning on getting enrolled in these games, but wanted to, something that only takes about, as record states, 26 seconds. That's right, just a minuscule part of your day to be taken up to go and make a big impact here with Pilot Games. It's going and heading on over to pgl.world and signing up to become a member of the Pilot Gambling League. Players who sign up and become members get access to insider information like a monthly newsletter that gets sent out to the email you sign up with, but you also get to earn PGO points that happen on our specialty nights. We do have big money over at Howie Sports Bar and Grill, getting to take away this great prize. That's right, $10.20. Going out to you, big money. We have that minor jackpot cooking up to 58 balls or less in this next round. You definitely want to get enrolled. And as you guys do so, I'm going to continue talking about PGL.world, all the great things that happen when you go and sign up, the PGL points that happen on MegaSota game nights, as well as Wild Wednesdays. You need to be a member if you want to earn those points, and we are primed and ready for the season 15 for you to go and get ready to earn those points and solidify spots in those standings. I'm also going to highlight some of our new players who sign up, so make sure you go and do so if you want to hear your name get called out on our broadcast each and every day. Just recently, we've had Tams Maltz 4, Jabber469. We even had Killian, Rosie89, Tag. We had Danny Kitty, Bold Moves, McGee, Marlin, L Pen 17, Drewski, Frofro, and even City Angel 80. That is some absolutely awesome stuff. I love seeing all the different player names people go and sign up with. I've already been thinking of a couple different ones that I would use if I was in a state that had the awesomeness that is Pilot Games and I could create a player logo. And some of you guys just really take the cake. You guys make me giggle nonstop with all the creative player names you go under. So keep it up. Make sure you guys are having fun. Keep it clean so we can call out your names so you can hear it, take it home a prize, and make sure you guys are getting enrolled in this next minute as we have some more great game day bingo in store. Now, I'm not just going to talk about all these different PGL opportunities, the points you win, the standings you compete for, and not talk about the standings themselves. We had players fighting tooth and nail last season to try and solidify their spots, so I would be remiss if I did not talk about them. Starting it off in 10th place for our final standings of season 14, we had BNN over at the Rumors Bar and Grill Mazeppa, who finished the season with 1,261,000 points. Then, with 1,268,000 points in ninth place, we ended up having OE50 at the Stanchion Bar. Eighth place was TTWL069 over at the Atomic Star Tavern, who finished the season with 1,317,000. Then, with 1,421,000 points in seventh place, it was Sloppy over at Malone's Bar and Grill. Now in sixth, it was Brizo at the Underground Bar and Grill as they finished the season with 1,556,000 points. Ahead of them with 1,581,000 points in fifth place, we had none other than Rakuda playing at the Alibi of Gilbert. Now ahead of Rakuda, we ended up having Mad Dog as Mad Dog played at the Still Wolf, finished the season strong with 1,592,000 points. Now, finishing off the 1 million point club in third place, we had Yak over at the Stanchion Bar. They had 1,656,000 points on the season. Now, our top two players were the only ones able to get into the 2 million point club. Kicking it off in second place, it was Drumski over at the Underground Bar and Grill. They had 2,439,000 points. That went 2,818,000 points in first place. It ended up being Outlaw 21 at the Boulevard Bar and Grill. Nicely done to Outlaw 21 as they are now officially the player to beat, reigning champs for season 14. We're going to have to see if they're coming out again for season 15 and trying to repeat it. I do have some locations I need to talk about in those standings, though, as in 10th place, it ended up being the DeVos Sandbar in Gilbert. They finished the season with 1,606,000 points. Now, just roughly about 400 points ahead of them in ninth place ended up being the Super Bowl in Ramsey. While in eighth place, it was the Tasty Pizza Bar and Bowl of St. Francis, as they finished with 1,650,000 points. With 1,776,000 points in seventh place, we have VFW Spring Lake Park. While in sixth, the Benton Municipal Liquor Store ended up taking home 1,893,000 points on the season. Fifth place ended up being VFW Mankato. They ended up having 1,968,000 points. Now ahead of them, kicking off the 2 million point club in fourth place, it was the Oleander Saloon. They had 2,246,000 points. Now ahead of them, with 2,925,000 points in third place, it was the Stanchion Bar in Hamel. Second place was the Boulevard Bar and Grill of Coon Rapids, who had 3,024,000 points. while with 3,995,000 points are reigning champs on the location standings. First place was Underground Bar and Grill Mankato. Nicely done to Outlaw 21 being our reigning champ for the PGL season 14. But we also want to highlight Bobby Z over at Barley's Den, who is taking home that $11.20 Musco prize. Nicely done to our lucky winner in this great round of game day bingo. You definitely want to make sure you're getting enrolled in what will be our next round as we continue to give out these great jackpot prizes as you guys continue to grow, and this minor prize now at 60 balls or less. As you guys are doing that, I will be talking a little bit about our wilds as they are 17, 19, and 4. The Stars ended up beating the Minnesota Wild 7-2 on Wednesday night to sweep a home and home set in the season series. Wallstead was brought up from Iowa of the AHL to provide a break for Marc-Andre Fleury, the 39-year-old who last Saturday tied Patrick Roy for second place in the career record victory list at 551. Fleury had started 5 straight games, 1 and 4, and played 6 consecutive ones since Philip Gustafsson was injured on December 30th. That's right, that was not what we wanted to see just last night as they went up against the Stars, but we do have another game coming up today against the Stars. That match will be going on at 6:30 tonight. We did lose our last two in the series to them, but hopefully this will be the one that we get that fire lit under us and we can get a win on the ice. If you guys want to show your support for our Wild, go and check out the great E-Tab game that we have teamed up with them for called Let's Go Wild. You guys can check it out wherever you play Pilot games and check out that slap shot bonus round to try and take home some huge prizes. Our Wild definitely need a little bit of a boost, so make sure you guys are the ones out there showing your support and checking out that great eTab game. Just under a minute now to get enrolled in this next game of Game Day Bingo. And I'm going to be jumping from one ice to the other as we talk a little bit about an ice fishing report as we now are seeing some more stable conditions for you guys out there. We're looking at the Miners Lake of Arrowhead Outdoor Fishing Report updated on just the 10th. Well, it's looking like reports from Miners Lake have been about 8 inches of clear ice, but there are a few pockets of thin ice as low as 2 to 4 inches, so please be careful. Walleye fishing has settled into its classic mid January fishing, short 2 hour window, and mostly negative fish. 4 to 6 p.m. is that window for most activity. Using those jigging spoons or rip and wraps, call fish in, and a suspended minnow under a bobber accounts for the majority of bites and fish landed. Popular depths continue to be about that 18 to 23 feet of water. As for the northern pike, fishermen continuing on to have those good reports of quality size pike being landed. Using that sucker minnow fished in about 10 to 15 feet of water, fishing under a tip up and all that jazz have been very effective. Going near those flats and river mouths have been the area to focus on for those very active pike. Keep that in mind. As for crappies, coming on in, look, and then drifting away. Sunfish, on the other hand, have been more active, showing up in the anglers' catches. Sunfish have been mixed in with the crappies, but over deep basins. Waxies tipped with a small jig have been hard to beat for those sunnies, while jumbo perch are staying pretty active on just a few areas of those lakes. Perch up to 15 feet are being caught on walleye spots, but mainly throughout the day. Minnows under a bobber have been accounting for the majority of perch caught out there using mud flats, and about 15 to 20 feet of water is where you guys need to be looking for them. Keep all those nice little tidbits in mind as you guys go out on the ice. Make sure you guys are sticking to marked trails, listening to shots, and making sure you guys are going to the proper outfielders to know where you guys need to be on the ice to maintain safety and taking all the proper precautions so that you guys come on and off in one piece. If you guys are out there taking home some huge prizes, though, we want to see it. Whether it be that giant jackpot prize you end up taking home while playing one of our amazing live games, whether you're holding up your favorite E-Tab game, a little bit of Nugget Chasers, a little Winter Wolves, whatever it may be, we would love to see it. You guys can send those player pictures, no matter what it entails, directly to us on our Facebook page. You can send them to any of your social medias with the hashtag Pilot Games, or you can even email them directly to us at jackpots@pilotgames.com. We will scoop up all those different player pictures, posting them in our enrolling screen on our social media and even in our commercials when we're off air. We love posting you guys. Our Instagram really is a great social media for you guys to go and check out if you want to see a lot of those player pictures. It's a lot of fun and you can interact with them on our social medias, no matter it being that Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram. So make sure you guys share those photos with us and we would love to post them right back on our pages. We are one ball away now for a couple of you lucky players as we close in on this $15.20 Musco prize. We were unfortunately moving past all those different ones, but we got Cinders as well as Big Money. Cinders at Miniger Sports Hub and Big Money at Howie Sports Bar, as they both split up $15.20. Nicely done to both of those players, splitting up a great prize in this great round of Game Day Bingo. Make sure you guys continue to get enrolled in what will be our next round of Game Day Bingo. You do not want to miss out on what will be a game number 11 now, our second to last game here live. I definitely want to give out some more great cash prizes, so get enrolled as we have that minor jackpot sitting at 62 balls or less. Definitely a little bit more doable as we're trying to close in on it. But I do want to talk a little bit about our Vikings as they just finished their season 7 and 10. As Vikings general manager Kwesi Adolfo-Mensah has been quoted to talk a little bit about the Kirko situation, and it's definitely his intention to have him back with the Vikings. Cousins was one of the very few shining spots in the few tough weeks for in the tough first 6 weeks of that 2023 season, but appeared perfectly poised to lead the Vikings mid-season turnaround when disaster struck in that form of his Achilles injury. Excuse me. Minnesota quickly learned what it had in Cousins and how much they needed to appreciate him and how much it missed him once he was gone. Starting rookie Jaron Hall in season acquisition, Joshua Dobbs, and veteran backup Nick Mullins, none of them could end up helping Minnesota finish strong as the Vikings missed the playoffs with their record being 7-10. That's right, we are. I'm so glad to hear that they are trying to get Kirko back with our Vikings, but we will have to see what's going to be happening. It's looking like we're going to get that number 11 seed pick for our draft, but that's all right. And if you guys want to show your support for our Vikings in their offseason, go and check out the great E-Tab game that we've teamed up with them for called Vikings Victory. You guys can check that out, pick a lucky letter in the skull bonus round, and take home some huge prizes along the way. As you guys are doing that, we have our game day bingo that is themed after numerous of our sports teams. Right now, we're themed after our Vikings, so you're showing your support while playing these great games as well. Hopefully, you guys are having a blast as we have 30 seconds now to get enrolled in this second to last game of Game Day Bingo. And as you guys do so, I'm going to talk a little bit about the Timberwolves, who had a game just last night, and the Celtics ended up beating them 27 to 127 to 120 in a matchup of the two conference leaders. Edwards ended up putting up 29 points, and Carl Anthony Towns scored 25 while having three rebounds for Minnesota as well. They flew in from Orlando in the afternoon because of weather problems that prevented the Timberwolves from being able to travel Tuesday night, so they had a little bit of a late start getting into the facilities, getting down into Florida, but they do have another game against the Celtics today at 6 p.m. And if it's any indicator from the match we had last night, this is definitely going to be a really entertaining one. They were going shot for shot at the very end of it. It looked like we had a chance to win, but unfortunately, in overtime, Celtics were able to pull through and beat the Timberwolves. But it is super fun to watch them and play. And so hopefully tonight is another one of those high scoring match for match games that is going to be happening tonight at 6 p.m. So make sure you guys go and show your support for our Timberwolves as they go up against the Celtics. I'm going to run through the top 5 of those game day bingo standings for you guys just one more time, as we start off with that actually three-way crazy tie in 5th place. That's right, Super D, Why Not Me, and Mad Dog all tied in that 5th place spot for season 14. 4th place was Mike, while in 3rd, Rock Rider solidified their standings. 2nd place was Mikey Mike, and in 1st, we had Call Me Jen, our reigning champ from the last 2 consecutive seasons. That's right, season 13 and season 14 were under wraps for Call Me Jen, so we'll have to see if season 15 will be the three-peat. As for the locations, we start off in 5th place with the Country Lounge, while in 4th we have Old Piper Inn in Blaine. Then in 3rd, J.R. Mack, while in 2nd, VFW Spring Lake Park. And in first place, our number one location in game day bingo was Carboni's Pizza CR Billiards. Nicely done to all of those players and locations. One more time for game day bingo. Make sure you guys are coming out no matter the time of day, whether it be that 12 to 1, 1 to 4, 4 to 6, or 6 to 10. We have a lot of game day bingo, meaning a lot of cash prizes going out into your waiting pockets. We do have some movies that were released on today that I can highlight for you guys. As our first one in 2008 is First Sunday. I can't say that I know much about this one or really have even heard of it, but maybe I will know it once I take a peek, as we do have a winner here, as Cinders is getting to take away that line prize jackpot. Nicely done to Cinders over at Miniger Sports Hub, taking home $93. Great job to Cinders as we get enrolled in what will be our final game here of Game Day Bingo Live. Don't worry, you have a lot more cash opportunities on the line after I go off air, but I only will be here for one more round, and you guys definitely want to get enrolled in it. But First Sunday is an action comedy that was released in 2008, and it has a huge, huge hysterical cast. I love pretty much everybody that is listed here, from Ice Cube to Cat Williams, Tracy Morgan, Ricky Smiley. We got Regina Hall, we got Melinda Williams, and even more there. We got Loretta Devine, and I absolutely love her. She only makes certain appearances here and there in a few of my works, but very much a big fan. But First Sunday, a very funny one. You guys should definitely give it a watch on today. I'm surprised I haven't seen this or really even remembered it from the name, but it's definitely a fun one. It's talking about a little bit of petty theft and some chaos that ensues between this community. Awesome stuff. First Sunday, out today in 2008. 2013, though, we have a haunted house. This is another one that I have not seen, but I think this is a parody film. Um, I Let's take a peek. That's right. Yes, it is. Super super funny stuff. It's got Marlon Wayans. He's the main character playing Malcolm in it, and him and his wife move into a home, and it's essentially a parody of Paranormal Activity, and super super funny. I actually have seen clips of this one, and this is one of those parodies that I really enjoyed, as Paranormal Activity wasn't that scary for me in general. And so being able to make fun of the things that I wanted to make fun of in that movie was so satisfying. Awesome stuff. A haunted house on today. If you're wanting a laugh, maybe give that one a watch on today. Now, for one that is a little bit more scary, I didn't personally find it that scary, but in 2017 we have the Bye Bye Man. He was I like the cast of this film a lot, as it's got Douglas Smith, Doug Jones, Jenna Canel, as well as many others, Lucien Laviscount, and many more after him as well. Um, I very much enjoyed this movie. I like the premise of it. Again, didn't find it necessarily scary. It reminds me a little bit of like the Babadook, which it was more of just like for enjoyment purposes. It's a good film, but it's not necessarily like one of the scariest movies out there. It's considered a mystery as well, so take that with a grain of salt, as it's rated PG-13. It's a horror mystery, and it's a lot of fun. It's fun stuff. So maybe give it a watch on today. Also released on today, our final film in 2019, we have The Upside. I have not seen this one either. Let's take a peek at it, as I'm not even sure who the cast is, as it follows a man, it follows a relationship between people, and I think it is inspired by a true story. Very very interesting. It's based on the true story of the quadriplegic millionaire Filippo di Borgo and his former aide Abdel Cello. Very interesting stuff. I have not personally heard anything about this movie. It's said to be a very pleasant experience, featuring many talented actors and actresses, fine works, a story that will never tries to overreach but reaches the goals it sets out to. It is a little bit of a longer film. It's said that that is primarily the biggest gripance about this, but super fun stuff. The Upside seems to have a nice story unfold. It might tug on the heartstrings a little bit. I'm not too sure, but fun stuff on today. First Sunday, a haunted house, the Bye Bye Man, and the Upside. As we're closing in on this final round of Game Day Bingo, I want to talk about how on today in 1973, the owners of the Americas' 24 Major League Baseball teams vote to allow teams in the American League to use a designated pinch hitter who could bat for the pitcher while still allowing the pitcher to stay in the game. Definitely some big stuff as huge rules were set into motion on today. So some big stuff as it changed the way we looked at the pinch hitter for baseball and the the American League in general, but awesome stuff happening on today in 1973. We're just one ball away now. And then before we talk about our last winner, oh, there it is. We got Mike over at the Sherwood Lounge. Nicely done to Mike, taking home $33.90 on that great Musco prize. Nicely done to all of our winners here in this great lunchtime show. But before I go off air for you guys, I want to talk about WWWW. They played over at Katie O'Leary's when they took home $12,000. While they were playing over at Katie O'Leary's, they supported the Waseca Hockey Association. They strive to provide a competitive hockey program that will develop each player to its maximum ability and while having fun. That is a great one to remember that while you guys are out there playing pilot games, your community wins, and stick around and have some fun with some Lucky for Bingo.